So this is tutorial 3. At Harvard Business School, in the manual by Scott Snook and Nitin Noria, How to Teach Leadership to the Harvard Business School Students, it's no do be. This is be. So what does that mean? Who you are. Well, a lot of their work is about authentic leadership, and it talks about being self-aware. Aware of what exactly? What am I supposed to be aware of so I can be like this authentic leader? By the way, authentic does not mean I feel something, I do it. Authentic means I know what's going on in here. I know a whole bunch of things I'll talk about in a minute, and then I can have good judgment at what part of myself, what part of things come forward in any situation to be of service to my organization. So what's the arc of self-awareness for something like this? First is really understand your formative experiences. What has made you who you are today? When we did this work for 6 years with Scott Snook at Unilever, you would hear people who had like car accidents, grew up in mountain villages. One woman just described her life wanting to be a fashion designer, but thinking she should be a doctor. And then her dad gave her a sewing machine. She's now a very well-known fashion designer. What are the formative experiences that have helped you be who you are? Then, tougher. How do you really know and explore your crucibles? These are the experiences that are so painful and so hot that, like a crucible, they change who you are. What are these? And people can get afraid of this, but Bill George and many other people have done a lot of work on crucibles. The point of a crucible is, this is what happened to you. How can you use that to be a better leader? How can you use it to be a better person? Okay, so formative experiences, what are your crucibles? Then, what are your strength stories? Do you know what you're proudest of? Like I say, what are your strength stories? Do they even come to mind? Do you have to think a long time? Not necessarily your achievements, but what about the things you're the proudest of? So how can you know those? And ideally, if you shared them with people, would they be able to see the themes and your strengths? So we know our formative experiences, our crucibles, our strengths, then our intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. What drives us? Is it changing the world? Is it personal growth? Different intrinsic ones. Extrinsic, is it your reputation? Is it power? What are the things internally and externally that matter to you? From there, you can find what we call your sweet spot. This is where your strengths and your motivations cross. Like in the tennis racket, there's a sweet spot. As Scott Snook says, a great example is that he has high motivation to sing in the shower. He is tone deaf, so his strengths and his motivations don't cross. So where do you find the place where what you love to do is also what is needed and what you want to do? So how do you find that sweet spot? From there, the journey is your values. How do you really get a sense of what really matters to you? Is it seeking truth? Is it being excellent? Is it helping with trust? You know, what values do you have? Do they tend to be more intellectual, emotional? And from there, you look at what is your purpose? What really, why are you here on this planet? And if that makes you nervous, you can think about what is it you love to do? What is it you can't stop doing? For those who know me, you might guess mine is teaching. I love to teach. I love to give tutorials. When I'm doing leadership coaching, I have to really shut myself up a lot so you don't have like 100 of these. But let me share you my purpose. My purpose as a leadership coach is to discover things that ignite excellence with people who can matter to the world. Okay, lovely, big deal. All right, I scheduled a 360 one day. I don't know what idiot did this, me. And it was a 360, I had like 10 appointments. And happily someone canceled. But I was at appointment 9, and I'm like, OMG, seriously? And then I thought, because I hold my purpose up like a card, and I look at it. And I think, does what I'm going to do align to it or not? And I'm like, Carol, is your purpose here to ignite excellence? with someone who matters and to discover things. And when I could kind of like take myself by the lapels, I suddenly had the energy that I needed. Another way is if all hell is breaking loose and you're leading in a sandstorm, then your purpose can be like the keel of the boat, deep, and it can keep you steady. So those are my 3 tutorials: what you need to know, what you need to do, and who you need to be. And I hope they will help you be a better leader or leadership coach.